Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, my name is Tvishaa. I'm a first year student from ICE. Today I've been faced with a dilemma. A military officer approved a drone strike to kill a terrorist leader, knowing that it would also kill civilians nearby. I'll be speaking for this topic. I'm going to be explaining how this is intentional collateral damage murder. Some call this unnecessary evil. I call it what it truly is murder. Because when we knowingly sacrifice innocent lives, we cross a line where justice collapses, where morality is betrayed, and humanity itself loses its worth. I'm going to be covering 5 points in my declamation. The first one being the sanctity of the life of innocent civilians. Every civilian life is sacred. To knowingly kill them, it can't be termed as collateral. It's intentional harm. Murder isn't defined by motive, is it? It's defined by the act of knowingly ending innocent lives. If a civilian family is killed in their home, no justification erases the fact that these deaths were deliberate consequences of this officer's choice. Calling it necessary evil is a disguise. The reality is murder. I said it once and I'll say it again. Secondly, justice isn't arithmetic. Killing innocents to reach a target undermines laws which are meant to protect human dignity. International law forbids targeting civilians. Approving a strike that knowingly kills them is a violation of their justice. It could lead to war. Civilians trust governments and militaries to protect them, which is my third point. Collapses their trust with law. When strikes kill innocents, this trust is shattered. Communities see these people as protectors and they become predators. I'll give you an example with the international humanitarian law, which I've done some research on. It's a principle of distinction. It requires two parties to conflict to distinguish between combatants and civilians. You have to protect civilian lives, not take them. By approving a strike that knowingly kills civilians, the officer violated this principle. Murder doesn't end terrorism, it breeds it. Survivors radicalize and violence deepens. The very law which is meant to protect humanity is blatantly ignored at the cost of humans, which is my fourth point. Human cost. Behind every collateral casualty is a name, a family, a story. Children, parents, elders, lives are cut short, not by accident, by choice. This can't be pardoned. A drone strike that kills a terrorist leader but wipes out, say, a wedding party. It's not victory, it's tragedy. Numbers can't erase grief. Murder leaves scars, lifelong scars, on the families. Last point is what happens if we justify this once? If one shortcut is allowed by naming it unnecessary evil, won't others follow? Leaders may begin weighing lives like commodities, like grocery items. History shows that when innocent deaths are tolerated, wars happen. And these spiral. They lead to massacres. My worthy opponent will argue that killing one terrorist leader saves many lives. He'll claim that the strike prevents future attacks, protects soldiers, secures peace, etc. But let's look closer. The terrorist leader is one man. Death may disrupt operations temporarily, but won't organizations replace leaders? The cycle just continues, doesn't it? The logic of greater good, which we've been learning since we were children, it's flawed. Saving lives doesn't require murdering innocents. Victory isn't hollow. Justice can't be built on blood. Let me give you an alternative humane solution. He's going to argue about numbers, that morality is not mathematics, no matter how many lives are claimed to be saved. But if eliminating the terrorist leader is necessary, why don't you use precision capture operations? Now, what is this? You might have heard about Osama bin Laden. This is a real world example. He was one of the most wanted men in the world. But when US forces finally acted, they chose a precision raid in Pakistan, not a drone strike which wiped out neighborhoods. That decision mattered. It showed that justice can be pursued without murdering innocents. It's clear proof in front of us. If collateral damage was necessary, if it was truly necessary, wouldn't have bin Laden's death lead to like hundreds of civilian deaths? It was not. And that proves that murder is never the only option. Use community engagement, empower local communities to be against these terrorists, to reduce the leader's power base, coordinate his arrest, execute him. Why do you have to take the lives of innocents? Why is this even a topic? Why is this even a question? Collateral damage isn't collateral. It's not. I would like to conclude. I would like to make clear. The answer is clear, at least. It's murder. Intentional collateral damage is not necessarily evil, it's a murder. It's not about convenience, it's about conscience. Because in the end, true measure of justice isn't about the number of enemies we just eliminate one by one, but how honorably we protect the innocent. Collateral damage isn't collateral, it's murder. And murder, no matter the excuse, is never justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Tvishaa. Keshav, are you ready?
One, two, three, start. So I recently watched Dhurandhar, and there's this quote which really stuck by me, which said that they have to be right one time, and we have to be right every freaking time. Now, what does this mean? It really stuck by me, and what it meant was that we, as a defense organization, as in a defense organizations, they have to be right every goddamn time, whereas a terrorist group has to be right one single time. Right now, that was just an introductory argument. Now, I cannot directly take you to this real life example. Let's start it with some game theory and some other arguments. So, for example, the trolley problem, which is a really famous problem, and it says that there are two people laying on two different rails. On one rail, there is one person. On the other rail, there are five people. If you pull the lever, you redirect the train from the five people to the one people rail. Right now, by this argument, isn't it really obvious that you are going to save those five lives and instead kill that one person? You get, like, logically you get a benefit of four. Now here the lever pulling is the drone strike. Right now, again, this argument again seems a bit radical. Right now, let's go to another argument which is on the positive side. Now imagine a person who has bone cancer and one of their limbs get infected. The oncologist says that if we don't cut that limb off, the person might have fatality risks. Right, he might die. And what is the most humanitarian solution? Right, the most humanitarian solution is cutting off that limb. You save the life. Why does this feel more logical? Because according to our human tendency, saving comes really directly. Now the issue here is that with the drone strike problem, we are not seeing how many lives we are saving. We are not seeing how many further attacks we are stopping, because that's all hypothetical. You cannot even imagine. Right now, there is a really good statistical way to analyze this, which is the minimax regret. So you take the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that the terrorist dies, there are no further attacks. The worst case scenario is that, in the first scenario, is that he survives and then he goes on to kill 1,000 lives. Maybe he does a 9/11, maybe he does a 26/11, so on, right? And when you compare it, right, when you compare both the scenarios, the worst case scenario here in the other part is that in the worst case scenario you kill some civilians, but the worst case scenario in the other case is you risk thousands of lives. And when you compare these, that's an obvious choice, right? You choose with the first argument, which is killing the terrorist. You may risk some civilian loss, right? Now, coming to other points, my opponent argued that international humanitarian law doesn't, allow people, allow the military to kill civilians. But for for the matter of fact, international humanitarian law in the Geneva Convention also laid out this, that if the military base has civilians in it, then it makes it legal to bomb that place. Or like, because the thing is that if you cannot kill civilians, every military is going to take the strategy up. And that's how I come to the other point, the human shield argument, right? So what the terrorist believes is that you are not moral enough, you are really moral, that you wouldn't, kill that human shield and go on to him. The thing here is that this will keep on repeating. He will believe that you will keep on ignoring him, you will keep on feeling sad that you are going to kill a children, and you will keep on delaying things, and you will feel that you are being really moral by saving that children. And he will keep on, getting as a using the human shield, and getting all that, all those sympathy, that and that doesn't stop him from making a school a bunker of his own, right? He's making a school a bunker, and you are not ready, you can do nothing. But if you kill that person, you may risk a few lives, but you are going to stop a lots of terror attacks which would come up in the future. Now, the other argument was that because you kill the person, you are not actually disarming the whole terrorism organization. He's gonna get replaced, and the opponent said that this is a vicious cycle. I pardon with that, because it's not right. It's not a vicious cycle. If you end that, it has been seen that if you kill, like historically, it has been seen that if you kill the leader, it makes them functionally not operational. It will also instill an amount of fear into that organization, that they don't repeatedly do it. They will not start making human shields again. They will stop this argument. It is gonna, deconstruct their whole organization if you kill their leader. The other argument was that why not precision capture operations? Why not on ground operations? On ground operations have repeatedly been seen that they cause a lot of post traumatic disorder. They cause more, the visuals which are seen are more harmful, and without any, you motivate a lot of viewers of those actions to instill to instill a fear of revenge, a fear of vengeance, which is instilled in them because they have actually seen it. Now, here, to conclude, my basic argument is that just because you cannot see those hypothetically imaginable lives which you are saving doesn't mean that the officer is the killer, right? That is a really surface level fact, that the one who presses the button is the killer. It is the killer, for the matter of fact, is that terrorist who used human shield, who used civilians. When the moment he decided that he's gonna live in that area which has civilians, he was the killer, right? You don't call the suicide bomber, or when the police shoots that suicide bomber, the police is the killer. He is the killer because he killed thousands of people after his attack. Thank you.
Feel like both speeches were like really amazing. The judges are gonna have a really hard time again pick a winner. It's really hard. Like we have to pick only one of these two. All right. So, Sukman, would you like to start with your OA?
Sure. Okay, first off, Really well done, both of you. Not many criticisms from my part, actually. I think it's pretty well-rounded speech by both of you. I think the manner and the lesser matter, all of it was covered really nicely. I mean, you're finalists, so that's expected. But other than that, I mean, it's really good. Both of you brought up really good points. Obviously, Trisha bringing up how it's like how it's their fault or something, or talking about the implications of how just killing a leader is not really going to stop the organization or something, and how it's like basically every point brought up by both of you was extremely valid, and both of you have an equal chance of winning this. I don't even see a point 0.5 difference here. So yeah, really well done, man. I don't really have much to say. So moving forward, I guess Ashmit, you can.
Yeah, sure. And just as Sukhmanya said, like your speeches were like pretty perfect. I don't have any criticism at all. But Trisha brought up some real life examples that, as it was like expected from this round, like you are given 30 minutes, so we expect you all to research. Trisha came up with real life examples of Osama bin Laden and like the precision strikes and all. Like how instead of a brute force we can just eliminate that target with precision. You took example of Osama bin Laden, which was very valid in my opinion. That was a very strong point, and that's a huge plus point in your side. You also talked about how radicalizing is easier on your perspective. I think like all the points were amazing. Now, Keshav, I think you could have like everything was perfect in your case, but one particular thing that stood out for me was that you brought up best case and worst case scenarios. Like even in our professional debating, we go for professional debates and we bring up those cases a lot as well, the best and worst case. And I really like that point. Like I as a judge could really buy that point, and also, but one bad thing about your whole speech was that you were just trying to use these fancy terms like human shield argument. Like, I mean, you explained that well, but in some cases, I don't remember what point was that, but you did not explain one point correctly. I'm sorry, I've not written that in my notes, but I remember there was some point. But you explained human shield argument very well, and then Geneva Convention laws. I think you did an amazing job. Like I'm seeing in my judges' notes right now, we started out with Dhurandhar example, which was very valid. I don't have much to say. Like as Sukman has already said, the judges are gonna fight for this one. So both of you equally deserve to win, in my opinion. So, Hani, would you like to give your OA right now?
Yeah, thank you, Ashmit. So honestly, you both did a really good job, and I really enjoyed it. And as the adjudicators before me said, I also don't have much of a criticism. I just want to mention a thing that Twisha, you used international humanitarian law, right? But IHL permits attacks if the target is military or if the civilian harm isn't primary or is proportional and not excessive, and if no other alternative exists. And so this point could have been much better used by you, Keshav. And also, there's a doctrine of double effect too. Such things could have been used by you. You could have used to show the human rights perspective more, that how innocent life is non-negotiable. But overall, honestly, these things don't push much of a effect, and you both did really a very good job. Well done, guys, and thank you. Tanu, would you like to continue, please? Tanu is here. Okay, Ashima.
Yeah, sure. Both of you, Keshav and Tvisha, you nailed it. Like you proved us that you both are deserving finalists. Like both of you had a great structure, and your manner was also nice. Like Tvisha came up with very struck points, and also she fought with the point what her opponent could bring about. and finally gave a solution that what alternative could have been done, especially that point about precision attacks. That was very nice. And Keshav also came up with very nice arguments. He actually fought with the points that were brought by Tvisha. The starting was also amazing by Keshav, and the structure was also nice. You countered points as well. So overall, both of you did a great job. It's going to be very hard for us again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, would you like to give your way?
Oh,
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
no worries. Okay, am I audible, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So, okay, I'll quickly give my way here. So, Tusha, I really loved the entire structure of your speech. I mean, how you give points after points. Those I really loved the whole structure. I loved the entire mannerism and the actions and how you were actually explaining everything, and again how you talked about the loop that and how killing one doesn't kill terrorism, which was later rebutted as well, but still, it was a great point. And then you also gave an example of precision killing and how what I loved even more was that you didn't even, I mean, you didn't just give out and gave, this is the problem, this is why we cannot have it, but you rather, like, you also went a step ahead and you also give an example, and a solution actually here, that how we what a solution could provide, and what could be done instead of killing the civilians. This is also an available option. And how you entirely talked about the intentional collateral damage, which is a murder. I really loved the entire speech, and again, the structure was really good. I really loved the entire structure that came one after another. And for you, Keshav, the entire speech was really good as well. I can say that you were kind of I mean, at a disadvantage here, but yet you did very well. You didn't just go ahead and put forward points. You took a time to, actually mechanize them and explain it to me, elaborate to me why it makes sense. How you gave different example. If you don't cut a limb to save, like how you don't, how you do cut a limb to save the entire body, and the entire worst case and best case scenario. Definitely it was a plus that you added up out there, because as I said, you were already at a disadvantage kind of, in this entire topic, but you still gave a worst case and best case to take it on your side. And what I loved was that you also gave like a rebuttal, how you actively listened to Twisha's speech, and you were out there, giving some of the rebuttals, even though this is not exactly a debate, but still how you went ahead, that you and how you gave an example of I mean, not an example but a rebuttal, that if you kill the leader, it's still functionally active. The entire, I mean, there could have been better rebuttals, but still, I mean, on the spot you came up with it. It really made sense to me. And how you talked about, the entire hypothetical imaginary lives that we're saving, or that we are not. So it was really good, it was really good. And again, we have to fight, actually I can already see that we are. But it was really good. Both of you had your own plus here, and I really love both of your speech. So no, not really any negative remark here, but kudos to you guys. It was definitely a worth listening and watching to the finale. So great
Thank
job,
you so much,
guys.
ma'am.
I just want to add something, though much not much relatable. Maybe Keshav, you could have also used a rebuttal. Not This is not gonna affect anything. Just sharing a thought, like, how terrorists can use it as a shield to hide between civilians. Maybe I guess you did highlight it in between, but it wasn't much elaborated, and that could have been a good point, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, I would also like to add. Yeah, continue, Keshav. Sorry.
I think I did address it, but yeah, I could have
Yeah,
gone
yeah,
deeper
you
into
did
it.
address it, but you could have elaborated more, because it could have been a really good defense from your side.
Yes, ma'am. I was gonna go deeper into it, but then I thought I would rebuttal instead. That would be a plus point. Yeah.
Yeah, but both of you really did a very good job.
By the way,
Yeah, I would
there's a
like to just.
public poll on the
Yeah,
on the chat room, so you guys can vote. You can vote one for Trisha and two for Keshav. Mind you,
it's
these
gonna have
votes
a
will be counted in our
weightage.
decision as well because this is getting really hard.
Yeah, it's gonna have a weightage. So guys, vote carefully. winner might be the one with the most scores.
Yes. This is
Yeah, the judges are already fighting on our group chat right now. Alright, I would just like to add, Keshav, you could have used a lot more real life examples, just like Tvishaa used. She used example of Osama bin Laden. You could have used that uh, Kandahar airplane hijack, right? That was very valid example. All right, I
Yes,
just
sir.
feel because yeah, I mean you understand, right? Like Twisha used a lot of real life example. You were given 30 minutes, but I feel like I have no other criticism in your speech
Yes, I
other
could
than
have
that.
included more facts and studies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be a close one. So, Shreya, would you like to give your OA now?
Yeah, actually, I just joined pretty late, so I didn't hear both of the speeches. But yeah, like the thing with me, it was a good speech. Great guys, all the best. Whoever wins.
Right, so have all the judges given their OA now? Okay, I guess now I would like the seniors to come and speak a few words. Starting off with the president of LADC. Do the honors, Preeti ma'am.
Thank you, Ashmit. Okay, so I joined exactly at 8:08, so I could hear both the speakers this time, and yes, it was like a really worth it finale to hear too. And yeah, like if I talk individually, I liked Twisha. Like she had these separate points, like so if it's easier for the adjudicator to jot down and like really come up with the exact things that she mentioned, and it was just one after the other. Again, I like the way like the manner in which she spoke, like it had me hooked. Like I was attentively listening to her without like having to focus. Um, also Twisha did one thing. She was the first speaker, but then like she assumed the best case of her opponent and tried to rebut that as well, which was nice. Coming to Keshav, I really like the quality of the arguments and the examples that he gave. Like he gave multiple theories. Yes, he did not give real examples, but the theories that he gave initially, like that hooked me. Uh, Again, Keshav had this best case, first case thing, which was really nice. Keshav also did one thing. Um, yeah, he was rebutting Twisha's argument, which was really nice. Like as other people have mentioned, other adjudicators have mentioned, and yeah, just seeing the level of speaking which is there in the first year, it's like it's really impressive because I think um, we have this WinterFest the second time around, and yes, I'm sure like I would say like it's giving a tough competition to debate league. So great organization as well. And yeah, let's see who wins.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti ma'am, for the very fine words. Now, Shubham sir, would you like to say anything? Hello, Shubham sir, are you there?
you're not audible, sir, if you could check that.
Okay, maybe until he fixes this issue, Adesh, if he wants to speak up something.
Hello guys, how are you? Hello Preeti ma'am, how are you doing?
Great, great. How are you?
I'm fine. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I
Happy New
hope
Year to
it's like a
everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
it's a good start to the year.
Actually, like I could actually see how the quality has improved from last year. The people over here are actually doing great work. Also in the organization, I've seen that our juniors are far more better than how we were, and that's impressive. Uh, about the speeches were really nice. I I cannot fathom how you guys have mastered the art of presenting yourself to the camera in just 3 days. Like the way the girl Tusha, she was speaking, it was actually really good. Like even I couldn't do it. So I really like how you manage yourself on the camera and how you like poke into the camera and you jump into the camera and you like point out and stuff. That was very, very cool. All the points were really nice. Talking about the first speaker, um, everybody has covered most of the things. There's not much that I could say, but great time management, great performance on the camera, and yeah, coming up with the conclusion in 7 minute speech for the first time, I think it's fairly impressive. Uh, and there were a few points which were debatable, which I was expecting the second guy, Keshav, would come up and like give rebuttals to. Uh, some of them, some of which he did, and some of which he couldn't. But that's totally fine. It doesn't matter because my decision doesn't, doesn't really affect the course of this thing. But uh, you were really nice, Keshav. Only if you could have brought up more points in a structured manner, the way the first speaker came up with, that would have been easier for the adjudicators to follow and, give you points easily. That's all I believe. Rest I believe on the people who are judging you. These are really great people, and I hope you guys have fun. That's all from my side.
Thank you, sir.
That was a JDGC lead up you for you. They are one of the coolest people in LADC. And Shivam sir, are you able to unmute your mic now? Oh, it's fine, sir. It's fine. So, guys, as all the seniors are done with the feedback, we are gonna release the results in a very few time, like at 9 p.m. So please stay tuned. Until then, let's play some music.
One between the both of you. So we've decided to go with cross questioning instead. I hope that's okay with both of you. Okay, you know what? This is the twist of the goddamn final. Cross questioning after 15 minutes of whatever you guys spoke. Okay.
Keshav, are you
And
surprised now with the twist?
Indeed.
That's cool, as
okay,
you should be.
okay. I'm audible, right? Who
Yeah,
said it's a
Sukhman,
waste
you
of time? Adesh sir was the one who asked me questions, by the way. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so for you, Keshav, you defended the officer, saying that it is necessary to have been, it was necessary for the person to order that or like order that drone strike. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you, so who decides how many civilian lives are an acceptable price of security? Like, until when is it a necessary evil, and when does it just become genocide per se, according to you?
Okay, so there are two ways to look at it, right? And the one is an external POV. So I am, say I am some external guy from some other country who doesn't have any emotional relationship with the persons getting killed in that drone strike, nor do I have any relation with the person who the terrorist may kill in the future, right? And even from that point of view, if you look at it, I am probably killing lesser amount of people than the terrorist might potentially kill, right? Now, from my internal POV as a military officer, if I were to be in the boots of the military officer, again, right, because I value my civilians' lives more, right, because I am responsible for protecting my citizens compared to the citizens I might now the correct word is uh, not murder, right? It is tragic that they die. It is not murder. It is tragic that they died, and maybe it could act as a sacrifice which happened with by them. That's all I have to say. So there is no numerical way you could define it. Like, but the worst case and best case scenario, as I said, that's the apt method to judge it.
Okay, very good answer. Twisha, for you, my question. Okay, you said that a person like they should not carry out the drone strike, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for you, my question is, if a known terrorist, the terrorist in question, is allowed to escape per se because you did not author that drone strike, then who
Yes.
exactly is accountable or responsible for future attacks the terrorists may organize?
Well, I didn't exactly say that we should let the terrorist roam free. I said that I gave solutions. We have to deal with the terrorist in the right way by precision attacks and like isolating them by like, cutting off their funding and everything. By letting the terrorist roam free, you're assuming that I would like terrorists to roam free, but that's not true. I would like the terrorists to be dealt with in a humane way. You have to eliminate the terrorist leader, that's true. But I'm sorry, what's your question? You're asking me that if the terrorist
If,
continues the attacks, then whose fault it is?
like, if per se you do not order that drone strike because
Okay.
it's killing civilians, and that terrorist, okay, assuming that terrorist does go free after that, and then plans more terrorist activities, who exactly would you hold accountable for that?
I would hold the terrorist accountable for that because we're not letting it roam. We're not letting the terrorist leader roam free. That was never my solution. I wanted the terrorist to be isolated or arresting him. You could like sanction, you could do a trial against him, execute him. But I feel like
Sukman, if
it
you
is
don't,
definitely.
Sukman, if you
Sorry?
don't mind, can I budge in?
Yep, sure, sir.
So actually, I just couldn't wait. I just wanted to ask you this one thing that you talked about precision attack, right? That's
Yes.
it's your alternate solution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we are at a point where a military officer has to approve a drone strike knowing that it would eliminate a terrorist leader, don't you think that all the other alternatives have already been thought through and that is not the right solution? And this is the only way that we could actually eliminate the guy in question. And that is why we are going with this solution. And it's like you are taking a step back and saying, "Ki, oh, let's just do precision attack." But the guy
No,
who's in charge of this, who's doing something like this, has already, must have gone through all the other possible solutions. It's not like he would have not thought about, going and isolating that guy and then murdering him.
no, your question is it's out of the question because it in the end collateral damage, as I was saying, it's murder. No matter like how many lives you're claiming that you're saving, it is still murder. When in history, there is no example where a drone strike was less harmful than a precision attack. Civilians, like, they should never be targeted. If we break this principle, doesn't it mean we are complicit in murder? It
I
lies
think
with the terrorist and the terrorist itself. No one else is at fault. Not with those like me who uphold morality. It is completely the fault of the terrorist. Nobody else is to blame.
okay, you say it's the fall. Okay, you know what? We'll just move on to the next question. I okay, because this is taking too much time.
Okay, so I would like to continue. Keshav, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Would your answer be same if the civilians were your own family?
Ma'am, obviously there would be a certain emotional bias, but then again, if I was the military officer and I had to, like same as the trolley problem per se, like if I had to sacrifice, the post-traumatic disorder I will have if I save my family would be like of greater strength. Like I would instead, probably end up killing myself if I take that decision, like that manner of bias. So I will obviously, do what I'm supposed to do as a responsible citizen. That maybe I would have to sacrifice my family as well, because I wouldn't be able to face that amount of traumatic and the amount of lives I could have saved and I didn't. That trauma would make me suffer for all of my life.
Okay, thank you, Keshav. Twisha, my question for you is that what if refusing to strike encourage terrorists to keep using civilians as their shield?
I believe that terrorists have one goal, and that is definitely murder. It's trying to paint, like your question, you're trying to paint this morality which I'm talking about. You're trying to make it look like a weakness. But no, it's injustice, because like when civilians are murdered by naming it as collateral damage, don't the terrorists don't they gain um propaganda? Because every innocent death, it becomes a strength to them, it becomes their rally. I don't think it encourages terrorism, because it denies terrorists their own principle, their own narrative.
That's what I'm asking, na, that if we keep on following this, then it would be a very good strategy for them to hide and operate because, of course, we are not going to attack the civilians. So, don't you think it would be harmful?
No,
Like, of course, one and two attacks can cause casualties. And of course, I believe that would be the last option for a military officer. But if we don't do it, it would rather encourage them.
no, I don't think it would encourage them, because why would it? Because terrorists, don't they live on fear of being caught, of they they crave murder, they crave the fact, the narrative that they want to kill. So by we're not encouraging the terrorists by protecting civilians. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We're we're showing them that, like, justice is on our side and not theirs.
Okay, thank you, Twisha. Guys, please continue. Does anyone have more questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask like Keshav one question. Uh, so like if radicalization happens in your case, is it gonna be worth it?
the radicalization of like the future generations which could come up. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. Are going to
yeah.
be affected by all.
Yes, yes, yes. So basically, what the opponent tried to address was that this is not going to end the cycle. But then I actually looked up into research, and uh, the examples of where it continues, like per se with Hamas or such organizations, it's actually very low in percentage. And if it does happen, the radicalization goes on to be, I think then we could take some other steps. Like we could intrude the nation, like perhaps what happened with Iran or Iraq or Syria. We could intrude the nation, change the, take up the government, what USA does. And what I'm trying to say here is that it's not usually the case. Usually, if they end up killing the head, it actually really deconstructs all of that organization, because essentially the terrorist is the one, the leader is the one who brainwashes people. He's the one who gives them ideas. If we kill that person, the idea of teaching people, the idea of brainwashing them, the idea of making sleeper cells is going to die. And that's how you end this cycle. And if it were to end, if it were to continue, I think uh, I don't think there is an actual possible solution to it, because you cannot go and teach them, right? You cannot go and some kind of institution cannot teach them. There is no humane way to deal with terrorism. If there was, I believe there wouldn't be deaths. That's also.
Who
All right,
thinks
that was a
next?
very fine answer.
I think Ashima wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would ask Tvisha
Yes, ma'am.
that is inaction morally neutral when it predictably leads to greater loss of innocent life?
See, here I feel like you're making an assumption, you're making a prediction, which I even heard in Keshav's declamation. We can't predict that the terrorist would have killed more innocent lives just because we didn't kill the terrorists directly by even murdering our own civilians. No, it's not morally neutral, because doesn't morality mean like foreseeable consequences? Because once again, back to the question, if the military officer approves the strike knowing that the civilians are going to die anyway, it's not neutral, it's deliberate harm. We are not sure that more civilians are going to be massacred because of the terrorist. We can't make this blind prediction, because you never know if it leads to greater loss. We have to be neutral in this case, because neutrality, it's completely based on morality. When we sacrifice innocent lives knowingly, it is murder. We can't randomly predict more lives being taken because of the terrorist. We have to do our own part. We have to make sure that we don't break this morality, which as humans is our inherent quality. We can't just approve murder. We can't normalize it like this because of some prediction we're making based on anything which is baseless anyway. When innocent lives are knowingly sacrificed, when we're knowingly murdering people by the decisions we make, the weight is very heavy and it is murder. So no, I don't think that action is morally neutral, because neutrality ends where innocence is knowingly sacrificed, as I said before.
Okay, thank you, Tvisha. We'll be giving the answer giving this spot in a minute or so.
Okay, I guess that's all for the questions and answers. Really well spoken, both of you. As we tally your marks right now, first we are going to announce the winner for the third place. Do we have the third place participants, Manroop and Priyanka, in the room? Yes, sir. Both are here? Okay. Okay, I mean, sorry, Ashmit's gonna announce the third place speakers. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Manroop and Twisha, you did amazing job. Like showed why you actually made it to the semis. I will like we already have said that all in the OA. So I guess let's just cut to it. Cut to the major result. First of all, it was just so close. Again, like the judges were divided, as we have already said that we were even more divided in the finals, but we are gonna come to that later. That's why we had to do the cross questioning. So, according to the result, Keshav. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting the name wrong. So Priyanka and Manroop. So the winner is the person who is third in WinterFest. Come on, guys. Drum rolls. So the winner is it's Priyanka. Priyanka has scored the third position of WinterFest. Congratulations, Priyanka.
Yes, yeah,
Manroop, you did an amazing job, right? So don't be disheartened.
actually.
Like you both were equally amazing.
This was literally a
So
point 0.5 difference between the both of you. Extremely hard to decide. Took us like the whole time these final people were preparing and were speaking or whatever, we were literally just debating between the both of you. And yeah, it's very, very, very close. Sensational done, both of you guys. Okay, so now moving on to the big finale. First off, both so
why the
both
noises?
Kesh
Someone is just gonna pass the crown for Winterfest. He was the winner last time.
yeah. I won last year, so that's why I have been called to announce the winner. I'm not first off, I wanna say both of you spoke amazing speeches, right? To the point it was completely just equal. We were literally not able to choose a winner between the both of you just from your speeches, which is why after literally 10-15 minutes we decided let's do some cross questioning and on the spot stuff like that as well, right? Completely, we just decided at that moment itself, but like, let's do this because it happened last time as well. And even last time, I won because of that cross questioning happening, actually. And so for that, because it was really equal in just the speeches, so it is just down to how you both answered the questions. And in that case, the winner of Winterfest 2026 is Keshav Kaushik.
But honestly, both of you did such a good job. I mean, it was really so difficult for us to decide.
I guess, guys, please stop the sounds now.
Guys, you can stop the sounds now. Yeah, it was so it was like really difficult for us to decide at this point.
Okay, guys, can we stop with the soundboard, please?
Okay. So yeah, you both made it really difficult for us to decide. I mean, both were exceptional and amazing job, guys. You like really made it enjoyable for us. And honestly, making this Winterfest such an success, I believe the credit goes to you all only. Thank you guys for participating.
All right, guys. So, as the winner has been declared, congrats, Keshav, once again. Seriously, like telling about what was going between the judges' experts, it was like one judge, not even a one judge difference at this point. So we had to do cross questioning, and we just felt like Keshav's answer felt a little bit more genuine and viable as a judges to us. So we picked Keshav as the winner. But to be honest, we all the judges felt that both the speeches were equally amazing and equally worthy of winning Winterfest. So yeah, be proud, both
That's
of
why
you.
you both were finalists. Exactly. You both were finalists, and you both deserve to be finalists as well. It's just the questioning that made Keshav the winner. So amazingly spoken, Twisha, to you as well, and obviously Mr. Winterfest 2026, Keshav Kaushik as well.
Thank you, sir. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
everyone who organized this as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you to everybody that joined and actually participated in this as well. And first off, thank you to our seniors, third year currently. I think only Adesh is the representative right now. But again, thank you to you guys. You started this and you are the one who gave the idea for all of this. I think just starting another, let's start this. This could really just be another flagship event of LADC as well. This starting with our current third year, like sensational. Thank you to you guys for starting this. Thank you to our first year, our juniors right now for making this such a huge success. Coming in and as Adesh sir said, the quality has definitely improved.